Now students, today we will move ahead in this chapter number 2, components of food. So here in the previous video I taught you about the different types of nutrients like carbohydrate, fat, vitamins, proteins, fibers, etc. So these things we have talked in the previous video. So now today here I am going to tell you the different kinds of vitamins. So if you see, we can classify the vitamins in two ways. Okay, so classification of vitamins, classification of vitamins, this we are going to do today. So basically we have two types of vitamins there. Okay, the vitamins can broadly be classified in two ways. So first one is fat soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins. So here you have the vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and then vitamin K. So these are known as the fat soluble vitamins. Okay, so second one are the water soluble vitamins. Okay, water soluble vitamins, and the water soluble vitamins are like vitamin B and vitamin C. So these are known as the water soluble vitamins. Like their vitamin C, we can get this vitamin C from the orange juice, lemon juice, so means the citrus fruits. Okay, so these are water soluble vitamins. Okay, so you must be knowing now the types of vitamins. Okay, now here if you see, we have it has been taught to you that basically there are three types of object. If you see, okay, types of object, if you talk about the types of object. Okay, so it's not very important, not related to this one chapter, but you can note it somewhere in the box, make a box for it and write it there inside a box. Okay, so types of object, if you see, we have basically three types of object. Okay, so first one are known as the opaque object. Opaque object are which one object? Means through which we cannot see. Okay, the objects through which we cannot see, like this. If you take this diary, so it's an opaque object. It's an opaque object, we cannot see through. Like suppose I just want to see from here, so I cannot see here. So the object through which we cannot see are known as the opaque objects. Are you getting this? So you can write here objects through which we cannot see are opaque object. And second one are the transparent, means through which we can see. Like suppose if I keep a glass here, okay, like your goggles there, so these are the transparent objects, okay, through which you can see. So such objects are called the transparent objects. So the second one I am writing here, transparent, means objects through which we can see are called transparent object. And third one are translucent object. Translucent objects are what? Means through which you can see, but not clearly, but partially through which we can see. Suppose I have a piece of paper here, and over this piece of paper I put some oil there. Okay, suppose let's say this is the piece of paper which is an opaque object. Through a piece of paper you cannot see through a piece of paper. Okay, but suppose if I put some few drops of oil over this piece of paper, so this becomes translucent, means some blur we can see some blur here, okay, but not clearly, some blurrish kind of things we can see here, okay, means not clearly but partially we can see, okay. So such objects will be called as the translucent objects through which we can see partially. So such objects are called the translucent objects, okay. Now based on this, you note this in a box, okay. First note this all down, then I am going to erase it, okay. Then we are going to do certain test, okay, like how will you test the presence of fat, how will you test the presence of this vitamins, sorry, this protein, how will you test the presence of carbohydrates such as starch, how will you test it, okay. So there are certain tests for indicating the presence of fats, starch and proteins, okay. So we will study it later, but right now you write it, okay. Okay, now the heading will be test, various tests, okay. So first one will be test for fats. How will you test the fat in something there? How will you know that yes, there is some fat, okay. Suppose if you have some samosa, okay, now you test the presence of samosa, okay. So you wrap this samosa with a piece of paper. You have a samosa, okay, and wrap this samosa with a piece of paper and then unfold it. Then after you can see the piece of paper become some oily, it has become some oily and it has become translucent also. Through this now you can see partially, okay. So this indicates the presence of fat or oil in the samosa there, okay. So this will be the test for fats, okay. So some other way also we can write, if I'm writing in, if we put few drops of oil over on a piece of paper, then it becomes translucent. The paper becomes translucent. Earlier the paper was opaque. Now when you put some few drops of oil over the paper has become translucent, means now you can see, not clearly but partially we can see through the paper now, okay. So we can make it translucent. So this indicates the presence of fat there, means there is the oil, okay. Now second thing, we are going to test for the presence of this starch. Test for starch. Starch is just a carbohydrate, okay. So how will you test the presence of starch in something there? Like suppose I have a potato, okay. You have a potato, okay. Now just you cut this potato. You have a potato and you cut this potato, and over this potato, like suppose let's say this is the potato, I just cut this potato. Now this is one piece of potato. Now what I do, I take, suppose here I have iodine solution. This is iodine solution. What? This is iodine solution. What is this? Iodine solution. Now if I pour few drops of iodine solution over this paper, this color of this iodine solution is orange kind of color, okay. Now if I put this iodine solution over this piece of potato, this becomes blue black in color. The color of this piece becomes blue black. Why this so? This was the piece of potato and this was the iodine solution, then the color of the iodine solution was orange, okay. Now if I pour few drops of iodine solution over this piece of potato, this becomes blue black in color. Why this so? This indicates the presence of, because there was starch in the potato. There was starch in the potato. That is why the color has become blue black. Okay. So this indicates the presence of starch in the potato. Okay. So how will you write it? Right there. When we pour few drops of iodine solution on a piece of potato, it becomes blue black in color. It becomes blue black in color. Why this so? This indicates the presence of starch in the potato, because there was starch in the potato. This indicates the presence of starch in the potato, because there was starch in the potato. That is why the color has become blue black. Okay dear. Now the third one test, that will be the test for protein. How will you test the protein in a solution? Okay, note it down. Now if you have noted, now we will do the third test, and that will be the test for protein. Third one, that is test for protein. How will you test the presence of protein? Okay, now suppose I have two flasks. This is the one flask, and then here I have another flask. Okay, in this flask I have a solution of dal, like chana dal, solution of that. Okay, here I have solution of dal, and here I have solution of milk. This is milk. Okay, now I take a test tube here. This is the test tube, and in this test tube I have mixed two things. What I have mixed? I have mixed in this test tube sodium hydroxide and copper sulfate. Here copper sulfate plus caustic soda. This is copper sulfate and caustic soda. I take copper sulfate and caustic soda, and I mix this, and I keep this in the test tube. So in this test tube I have what? I have the solution of copper sulfate and caustic soda. Now what do? I just pour few drops of this solution. This solution is of copper sulfate and caustic soda. Now few drops of this solution I pour few drops in dal also, and few drops in milk also. Okay, so when I pour few drop of this solution here in dal and then in milk also, so the color changes. The color of dal and the color of milk changes. Now the color has become how? The color has become purple now. Purple. Somewhere it is light purple and somewhere it is dark purple. Okay, getting na? Earlier the color of milk was like white, and the color of dal was like just yellowish color. Now when I pour few drops of copper sulfate and caustic soda in these two solution, so the color changes. The color of dal becomes light purple and the color of milk becomes dark purple. So why this change in color? The change in color is due to the presence of protein there, because there was the components of protein in both dal and milk. That is why the color has changed now. That is why the color of this dal has become light purple and the color of milk has become dark purple. This is only because of the presence of protein there. So hence it indicates the presence of protein in dal and in milk. Okay, so where there is dark purple, it means it has more protein. Where there is light purple color, so it indicates there is less amount of protein present there. Okay, so So this is how we can test for the presence of protein. Okay, make it. If you have made it, now we will write this. Okay, how will you write? Okay, when we take two solutions of dal and milk and add few drops of caustic soda plus copper sulfate in both the solution, okay, the color turns into purple. The color of both the solution into purple. Why this so? This indicates the presence of protein. This indicates the presence of protein in dal and milk. Hence, there is the presence of protein and dal in the milk. So this was all about for today. Now we'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, keep making notes.